Matt and Luke's Sci-Fi Sanctuary.
The year is 3013. The galaxy is scintillating in the mellow light. Two galactic pilgrims seek out vistas in the samurai future to bring forth the unity of the cosmic shaman. Opening the door of the pantheon of mystics, the evil sorcerer wizard powers the engine of science, seeking to forever alter the sacred balance, travelling on effervescent balls of summer fire.
This week, Men in Black.
In the year 1997, you did not see a science fiction film starring Will Smith. It was in fact just some light reflecting off some swamp gas from Venus.
You did not see a film with...
It never happened.
Not see. Sorry, that's how I heard it. It was weird.
No,
I didn't see any films ever, man. I've never seen a film. What am I doing here?
I don't know, chatting shit.
Talking shit. Yes, it is Matt.
This is Luke.
This is a Sci-Fi Sanctuary where we do, in fact, watch films in one sitting sometimes, because this one's not that long.
Yeah, that might not sound like much, but that's an achievement for Matt, ladies and gentlemen.
Achievement achieved. But yes, it is Men in Black, which is phase 2 of Will Smith's takeover of the 4th of July, which we all supported.
Yeah, this was, right, coming up on the turn of the millennium.
I mean, that was peak cool at the time, right?
Oh, yeah. Like, this was the coolest shit when it came out.
I can't quite remember seeing it the first time.
Same. I think I would have been slightly too young to see it in theaters.
I was perfectly the right age, but I saw it opening night, too. I just can't remember much of the circumstances.
Because I definitely saw 2 in the theaters. And I remember Men in Black because it was a big thing, right? There was this, then there was immediately, like, the animated series and toys and stuff. But I guess I would have seen it when it came out on VHS.
She had a weird alternate trajectory where, being a little older, Barry Sonnenfeld had done the Addams Family and Addams Family Values, which I really liked. So it was, I liked him. Will Smith had just been Independence Day, so we all liked that. I honestly, to this day, have not really seen much of The Fresh Prince, so that was not in my mind.
In the UK, The Simpsons was on BBC Two, I think at 6 p.m, but immediately before The Simpsons was Fresh Prince. And so you just watch Fresh Prince because you're waiting for Simpsons. So I've seen a lot of Fresh Prince, and it's a good show, but it's just like, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not ragging on it. I'm just saying I hadn't seen it much, so it was not the thing I was thinking of, for Will Smith, I guess.
But yeah, around this time was like, the Will Smith film was the big film of the year. He did the theme tune as well, so that was a big thing.
Yeah.
So, like, you couldn't escape Men in Black. It was everywhere.
And was this... Oh, no, I guess we need to talk about that more next year when we get to the next one, Wild Wild West, when I worked in the Warner Brothers studio store.
Okay.
And was literally, like, force drowned into that pool.
I remember Men in Black being big. I don't know if I actually had any of the toys.
I was 20, almost
I know you
20,
were too old,
yeah.
but, like, yeah. But I guess Men in Black was my generation, what Ghostbusters was for yours.
It is pretty Ghostbuster, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then, it launched, like, the cartoon and everything, and you kind of forget what was what.
The weird thing, and I kind of remembered this, because I remember leaving at opening night saying, what, we're finished? That was it? And just what a short movie it is. It is 90 minutes, which is, normal length, shortish, but then it feels like half that length. It literally feels like you're watching a 45-minute movie when you put this on.
Yeah, this is a very fast-paced, like, there's not a dull moment, it's just fun.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel shortchanged or anything. Although... I guess because now I've seen, like, 3 of these, in my head I imagine way more of just J and K going around as partners blasting things with their big lasers. Which actually you don't get that much of in this one.
When you get the noisy cricket, that's fun.
Yeah, but the 2 of them side by side with the big-ass guns,
right?
Yeah. You only really they shoot down the spaceship and that's it. Whereas to me, that's like the iconic image of these 2.
Well, that is the iconic image. Them taking the ship and it coming through the 1964 World's Fair globe.
Which still looks amazing.
Yeah.
But this film...
It's a bummer they took out that globe, though.
It doesn't feel like it's aged. It just made me miss a time when a film could just be this.
Yeah,
Could just be 90 minutes of fun. Doesn't overdo anything. Just charming. Surprisingly, like, chaste. Like, one of the iconic lines, they're like, I make this look good. I was so sure in my head that it's, I make this shit look good. It's not. There's no swearing in this film. like now, it's a 12A, right? They'd be saying ass and shit all the way through, and they drop an F-bomb at a strategic moment.
Yo, ass shit, what the fuck you doing? I make this look fucking motherfucking good. Shit.
No, they're only on one F-bomb.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just...
What if it's two F-bombs in the same sentence? Does that count as one?
I think that still gets you a 15, man.
Okay.
But yeah, I forget how, like, what a good guy image 90s Will Smith was, right? It's not like he's become bad since then, but it's just that he's a more of an actor who can just do anything now.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only real line on him these days is After Earth, which we haven't watched and we're just discussing. Hey, we might like it if we watch it. So,
but like, he's not. I'm not saying he didn't do any bad films, but like, he seems to be a good dude, right?
Mm-mm.
No one's complaining about anything Will Smith does.
That was a loud cricket. It's noisy cricket. Noisy. Yeah, we are sitting in a relatively bug-infested spot, but not quite as bug-infested as we expected.
Well, last episode we had a discarded cicada skin, and now we've got the actual live one making a lot of noise. So, is that an upgrade? I don't know.
yeah. I don't know, living's for the good. I mean, we needed Vincent to discard that skin in this movie.
Yep.
Smell-o-vision. Got to get back to the smell-o-vision. Okay. Are you gonna rap about the plot then?
Yep. Now this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit on back, tell you how I became a member of the Men in Black. In New York City, born and raised, on the mean streets is where I spent most of my days, working as a detective for the NYPD, and all shooting some people around the city, when a weird-looking guy was up to no good, blinking with two eyelids and jumping off a roof. I chased down a cephalopoid and Kay got impressed and said, "You're going to compete with the best of the best." We upset some aliens, and when their battleship came near, the message said head over the galaxy or Earth will disappear. If anything, I could say that it's on Orion's belt, but Zed thought, nah, forget it, that space is too svelte. I pulled up to a bug about 7 feet tall, and Kay and I used big laser guns to smoke that fool. I looked at my mentor, I could finally face him. He said, I wasn't trading a partner, I was trading a replacement. Now this is an audio medium, so you might not have known it before this point, but as I'm sure you can now tell, I am in fact a white man.
I was going to say that in different words. I was going to call you a honky. Yeah. Well, you can't... Slick Rick made the English accent work well in rap, so...
Yeah,
at least you got that. Slick Rick was pretty good.
Oh, like there's a bunch of fantastic London rappers. It's not like Brits can't rap.
Dizzy
It's just I can't rap.
No, I know you. Neither can I. But
Tiny Temper.
Yeah.
Big Shaq.
Americans don't necessarily know this, though. I don't think Dizzy ever made it so big in the States.
No, I mean, Matty knew him, but he's A, lived in London for a bit, and B, is just into his hip-hop.
Right.
I think, like Stormzy, I think grime made its way across a bit more eventually.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I definitely think, because rock and pop acts from the UK definitely make their way over to the States. But maybe the hip-hop less so.
I did hear the Millennium album a lot. It was played in the car a lot.
See, I only really remember hearing Will's, like, specific film-related ones.
Yeah.
I mean, and the earlier stuff, like Get Jiggy With It and...
Yeah, he had Big Willie Style, which was, I mean, very popular. I guess it's just because I was in university, and I'm always playing insane music, as you know. So
Yeah.
when the lady friend wanted to hear something, it was usually Millennium or that Fan Box TLC album. Fan Box? Is that it? It's TLC anyway.
Yeah.
Same period of time. A little bit after this movie, so, because I was just graduating from high school and still going full geek when this came out, so.
Okay.
I don't know, do we all, we've already talked a fair amount of Will here. Do we keep on going with him a bit, or do you want to take a stop with someone else like or your Tommy or your Vincent or
Well, yeah, I'm
your Linda?
here drinking my Boss coffee in honor of the great man Tommy Lee Jones. Who, if you don't know, he's the face of a canned coffee brand in Japan. You see him everywhere.
That's why he wasn't in Men in Black 3 so much. He was too busy doing coffee commercials.
He's probably rolling in that coffee cash and doesn't need to worry about it for the rest of his life. But...
Probably he's on half the vending machines in Japan.
Yep.
Because he looks like a boss?
I get. Well, he's just got that like very stern, wrinkly face, right? Because you kind of think of it as being like he's the straight man and Will Smith's the
gay man,
like the fast talking comedy one, right? But like, it's not like Kay is this by the book, stuck up dweeb in these films. Like, Kay is also pretty rebellious and has a sense of humor and is, like... the point is that to be in the Men in Black, you have to be someone who thinks outside the box.
Yeah.
You can't just be a pencil... The whole point of the recruitment scene, right, where all the guys who just stick to their government training don't make the cut. But I think it's just because of Tommy Lee Jones's face. You just had this image of him as being, like, this stuck-up hard bastard. But that's
looks
not
like
actually
a boss.
the case. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think with the scene where they're trying to, they have the brittle paper and the rounded chairs.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe I've been in Japan too long, but I would have gone and just sat at the table.
Yeah.
Okay. And that would have was the noise important?
It's just the fact that he did something different. But yeah, I would have gone and sat on the floor.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that would have been a worse option. I feel like I have a better option than he took.
Yeah.
Is that the American option?
Well, you don't sit on the floor.
Yeah, you drag the table, no matter how much noise it makes.
Your grandfather didn't fight on the beaches of Normandy to sit on the floor. He fought to sit on a good American chair.
Made in China.
Well, yeah.
Good American chair made in China. But yeah, he actually gets top billing in this, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Tommy Jones is a fairly long-standing actor, but I can't really think of anything he did before this because of the generation I grew up in, right?
Well, he had The Fugitive.
Fugitive, of course.
Yeah, that was
then
before this.
U.S. Marshals as well.
The sequel, but
Yeah.
those are big
But
hits.
he's more the star of the sequel, right?
Yeah,
The Fugitive, Harrison Ford's the star.
Right. Anyway, the point is he is a star, but especially a year after Independence Day, it seems a little weird he's on the top billing. Well, maybe because he's the old school in the film, but we're talking actors, we're not talking story anyway, so...
Yeah. I would imagine at least by the second one they're at least equal billing, right?
Well, I think this one is supposed to be like equal. I don't know. They show his name first. I guess it's top.
Yeah, because the poster's always them side by side and stuff, right? It's not like either of them is prominent.
And he puts like Mr. Jones, Mr. Smith, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily even put their names on it. So, otherwise, we got Vincent D'Onofrio doing a totally bizarre role.
I mean, he's between this and Daredevil, he's clearly just one of the greatest villain actors
Yeah.
going. Like, such different roles. Because here he's just hamming it up as this fucking weirdo alien in a skin suit.
We're just falling apart the whole time.
Yeah.
He's a straight up bug.
But it's like, his acting is so bizarre that it feels like a special effect.
Yes.
Like, you feel like he's an animatronic. He's not a man. He just moves in such incredible, inhuman ways all the time.
Did you just get that? Well, you get like 5 seconds of him like acting as a person.
Right at the start, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of it off screen.
So I hope he is happy with this. And smell-o-vision, that must have been pretty ripe a few days in.
It's like the first Terminator, where they point out that he's just got like rotting flesh on him. That's what this guy is, right? Because it's just a bug in a dead man's skin.
So I try not to kill bugs.
Yeah, my son was laughing at me at work the other day because I was going to such great efforts to take a spider outside without hurting it.
No, I've had students like look at me like, "Why didn't you smash the bug?"
I smash mosquitoes.
Yeah,
They can't be left around because they do actually,
cause welts on your skin.
yeah,
Yeah.
and spread like deadly diseases at times. So, but everything else, I try and get rid of it without killing it.
Right. Was it? And then, I forgot her last name. Linda. You wanna?
I don't know.
Goriandi. It's something I can't quite wrangle up. She's here. That's kind of a thing where I'm trying to look up her filmography because she is fine here. She's just here, but
Well, she feels like a bigger role to me because the animated series, it's Jay and her.
they just leave.
Because Tommy Jones portrays it.
Yeah, okay, right? I got where you're going. Yeah. Fiorentino. I've never quite known how to say it, but
Linda Fiorentino.
because she is good, and Borden. Okay, like she kind of aged out too quickly, I guess.
Well,
She's in
that's Hollywood for you.
Oh, she's in After Hours. Told you to watch After Hours.
Okay.
She has some good filmography, but yeah, it's definitely someone who seems to have not had a whole lot recently, unfortunately.
She does the very 90s thing here, where they try and subvert her just being a damsel in distress, but ultimately they wanted a damsel in distress, so it kind of happens anyway.
That's what. If you look at my notes, that's exactly what I wrote. They're like, they're about to get into like a 5-minute feminist conversation, and no, she's just damsel in distress. Yeah. Oh, now I thought I was gonna like feel like an asshole by looking at her filmography, but now I'm like, ooh,
Yeah?
she aged out.
Okay.
That's sad. After Men in Black, there's Dogma. There's a couple, like literally like 4 other films, and after 2009, nothing. I mean, but
Maybe she just like, I've made enough money, I don't have to do this.
yeah, but she has
demanding
like
unpleasant
2
job
to 7 year gaps in there too.
Right,
So
okay.
that's kind of a bummer because she has Likeable in this movie. So
Yeah.
Queen of the Dead and the Morgue. I thought she did a good job of that. So definitely.
Yeah, it's a memorable character because she's like this really bizarre mix of like, she's like, they kind of are flirting and stuff, but also she's got her hands in a dead body.
That's my whole
It's a
point.
fun
Like,
thing.
I actually did I haven't seen this movie for probably 10 years, and
Yeah.
I kind of forgot she was there. So
Okay.
I was like, oh shit, she's actually pretty good here.
Yeah.
Good for her. David Cross gets 5 seconds, as we mentioned. And Tony Shalhoub doing worse than a Ferengi.
Yeah. Like, difficult to recognize because he's so thin here. Somewhere between this and Galaxy Quest, he put on some weight.
Oh yeah, okay. To me, it was perfectly recognizable, but yeah.
Well, he's also, he's doing a shtick, right? So he's very character actory here. But.
And maybe, and of course we have Rip Torn. This is not his best role. I can tell you what that is if you'd like.
Go on.
That's Freddy Got Fingered.
Okay.
Where he's
You always, now that I think about it, you
he's
always bring this up when we mention Rip
yeah,
Torn.
yeah. Just him like curb stomping a keyboard. He doesn't curb stomp a keyboard in this movie, which
No.
means it's not his.
He's there to be the straight man of this film, right? So he is very much just phoning in a "I'm your boss, giving you orders" role.
Okay, so he takes the same energy and turns that into like violent insanity, and Freddy Got Fingered. So,
Like, he's fine in this,
no.
but he's just not. He's not blowing you away, really.
Young man, you ever buy yourself a copy of the White Album?
I'm not that into the Beatles, to be honest. Also, you gave me it for free.
Yeah. Okay, you do have your wall of Taylor Swift, so
Yeah.
you can appreciate his need to.
Yeah, I have bought some of those more than once. So yeah.
Okay, so you can appreciate the weird. That's the first design thing I think. I guess you think of the guns. I think of the fact that you got to buy the White Album again.
Yeah. This is a film that, effects-wise, hasn't aged as badly as I was expecting it to have.
Nothing here. I'll piss all over CGI I don't like, and nothing in here really rubbed me the wrong way.
They use a lot of animatronics and practical effects, and then when they do use CG, they go for a very cartoony, fun look. Right? It's not necessarily meant to look real.
Yeah, the effects in this are Rick Baker, who is one of these straight up gods of makeup in 80s, 90s Hollywood. So
and everything that's in front of the camera looks amazing. And then, sure, the bug at the end kind of looks like the baddie from A Bug's Life, but also the whole film is like kind of a cartoony, silly romp, so you don't mind.
Yeah, you don't care because it's so goofy, and the acting is entertaining, and the jokes are amusing, except for that one when Will Smith has to explain the joke, which means it wasn't funny. It's never funny when you have to explain the joke.
It's not like I wet myself laughing funny. It's just I'm having a good time, is the tone.
What movies are wet yourself laughing funny for you?
At a certain age, all of the Will Ferrell stuff was. The first segment of The Ballad of Buster Scruggs absolutely kills me. These days, not that much cinema, because I'm such a millennial that I like dumb internet humor has made it so that I can't find boomer humor funny anymore.
Kind of crawling on doing a drunken crawl at the moment.
It's because mainstream comedy can't compete with how weird the internet's sense of humor has gotten. Like, no studio is going to put out the kind of shit that my generation finds funny because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
So is that where Adult Swim got started? Is that the start of that humor?
Yeah, that's the kind of humor now,
and
right?
just like exploded into the...
Well, that's it. The people who are making like Tim and Eric and stuff, they've realised that there's no point in them going through the studio system. That humor works better for them if they just put it out themselves. And yeah, none of the mainstream media has caught up with that yet.
I guess the main idea here is to do a bit of design, which I think it's pretty swank through and through. I like the 60s Pan Am vibe of the Men in Black headquarters.
Yeah. All of their tech and everything has like a 60s sci-fi look, right? Shiny, chrome, lights up, guns and stuff.
I haven't seen this for a while, so I definitely noticed this time when Jay mentions the 1968 incident. It's like, oh, they actually mentioned that here. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, that level of detail is kind of cool. I mean, in the fact that when they were making the third movie, they decided to run with that, Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying they seeded it here. George Lucas would say he seeded it in his...
Well, neither of us has ever read a single comic book of Men in Black. Correct. Maybe that shit was all already written in a comic book at this point in time.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they actually take from the comics. I've been led to understand it's very little.
I have heard that as well. I definitely, I wrote a line in here I need to throw out. Actually, this is one of the Rip Torn lines. Looking forward.
I almost get the impression it's one of those cases of they were working on a vague concept, realized there's a comic book that's similar, and bought the rights so there wasn't any complications.
I'm guessing that's probably correct. Man, I cannot find what I'm looking for. Maybe later. Okay. Which gun do you want?
As a kid, I was always very amused by the noisy cricket.
See, I'm thinking now I might want the noisy cricket.
Thanks, I can conceal it,
Keep it in your pocket, yeah.
But then, part of me just don't want to brandish one of the big-ass ones from the end of the film.
Do super squirters, scratch that itch?
A bit, yeah. Oh, yeah, I definitely used to play with super squirters and imagine I was a Man in Black.
We need, a chrome super squirter.
Super soaker, dude. Super squirter sounds like something you'd search for on Pornhub.
That's a new superhero. You let these people go. Let my people go. I ain't let your people go. Watch this.
You said superhero, then you went Moses. I'm not going to part the seas. I'm going to make a new one. Squirt.
I'm not gonna pot disease. I'm gonna make some semen. Okay, here we go. I finally found a quote. There's always a Carillion death ray about to take out planet
Yeah,
Earth.
no, that's a Tommy Lee Jones line.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But yeah, there's the bit Will Smith's like, because Will Smith makes a big scene shooting his gun off and stuff, and then Tommy Lee Jones like, these people just saw, and he's like, well, they deserve to know, and he's like, there's always a battle cruiser or a Carillion death ray or something about to destroy the world.
The car is cool. I don't see why Will Smith was talking shit about, or Kay, I should say, was talking shit about the car. That was hip to start with. The Ford POS.
Yeah. No, Jay is Will Smith.
Oh yeah, I'm mixing
K
up.
is
JK. Okay.
Yeah.
It's they're letters right next to each other, man. You can see where I'd like
I know.
this out the window. It's always Jaden
I don't
Smith.
know.
I don't know.
Well,
Okay.
I think that's supposed to be foreshadowing that he's directly before K because he's about to become the new K, right?
Oh, you're thinking about the alphabet. Okay.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
Like
Zed
an
is the
English
leader,
teacher.
right?
Yeah.
I like they call him Zed.
Yeah. It's dead, man.
It's very annoying for me when students say Z and I have to correct them to Z.
I don't correct them. I say Z because I'm American, but I don't correct them.
See, I say, Z. I actually point at the map. So in America they say Z, but here in the UK and Australia we say Z. But let's say Z for our tests, okay? That's what I do.
No, sometimes I'm about to correct them. And okay, that's right. Let's move on. I maybe I should. I don't know. I am like, okay, it's not wrong. So
I mean, I assume they're not going to fail a test if they pronounce it Z, but
Hey, you never know. It could be. That could be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
exactly.
Yeah. Z, Z, J, K. What letter are you?
Q. I was trying to think if there's a letter equivalent of 69, but there isn't. There's not like a fun sex letter, is there?
Let's put the X
I
in
guess.
sex.
I'm XXX.
Let's put the X in sex. That was a Kiss song from the
Okay.
period of time when they didn't wear makeup and they were terrible.
Oh, I've heard of this period.
And that was their big hit from that time. But
Is that like let's break up but still fuck? Let's put the X in sex.
I don't even remember. I think the whole thing is they just were like, hey, there's an X in sex and it rhymes and we write songs and songs rhyme.
It's like, hey babe, I want to break up with you, but let's still fuck, okay? The X in sex.
Yeah, maybe that's.
I mean, that's a big
how-
dick move if you can pull it off. Like,
It's not the size that counts. It's the.
when people talk about a big dick, it's an attitude thing, right? It's you conduct yourself like you've got a big dick.
Right.
That's what big dick energy is.
Yeah. That was yeah. I was talking. I'll name him. He's on this podcast sometimes. Scott was like, he had to get off the phone. So I got to go polish some rice. I'm like, is that a euphemism, man? Like if you just want to like own the fact that you're not well endowed.
Yeah.
You've got infantile penis syndrome. You're just like, I gotta polish my rice, man.
One of my proudest moments, I posted a picture of myself at the gym where I was wearing a Splatoon baseball cap, Splatoon t-shirt, had a Splatoon phone, Splatoon towel, and Splatoon water bottle. I put it on the Splatoon Facebook groups, and one of the first comment was just like, I dream that one day I can have this much big dick energy. There's like, most people I know don't have the confidence to go around dressed head to toe in stupid cartoon clothes like I do.
There we go, full on big dick energy. Okay, that's how you are. Which is what you have to do to be a man in black, I guess.
Yep. I do like a suit, but you know, now that I have a job where I have to wear suits, I don't feel any desire to wear suits outside of work.
I wore corduroys to work for like 3 months straight.
I know. We all know. You ever seen a UFO, Matt?
I've been looking for them and no.
Yeah, same, like my whole life.
Okay. Not too far from here, it was about 2 years ago, I was walking along late at night, and I did see a light in the sky, which it was just an asteroid, but it like totally flamed out, and I did wonder if I was like about to vaporize, because it was just a fireball in the sky, you know?
Nice.
But that's not a UFO, I knew what it was, you know?
Yeah, no, me either, but...
I walk home at
Right
night.
now, I'd say, like, God, I'd love to meet the aliens, right? When I'm alone at night, I'm suddenly like, oh, God, I can't meet the aliens right now.
That's
That'd be
when you meet the
terrifying.
aliens.
Yeah, I know.
Or you're meeting the DMT elves, maybe.
Yeah. No, I want to meet the aliens.
Have you had the out-of-body experience or the direct dream injection?
I've had very little of any of this stuff. I've read a lot of it. As a kid, I would constantly read books of, like, alien encounters, alien abductions, UFO sightings, all of that stuff. It was my absolute jam. Even though it would scare the shit out of me and I couldn't sleep properly.
Because even this morning, I don't remember anything in particular, so it didn't work that well. But I do recall, like, interacting with dream people or whatever and coming in and out. I was trying to, like, you know, initiate a straight in, because then
Right.
you remember that, and it didn't work. But you keep working. It doesn't work 90% of the time, right? So, but the 10% of the time it does work, it's like, whoa! So that's kind of cool. But yeah, you don't want to meet the aliens late at night?
I do want to meet the aliens. It's just when I'm alone at night, the idea suddenly becomes scary.
Oh, okay.
So I creep myself out about it.
Where do the aliens come from? I mean, Men in Black, clearly they're from
between
space.
spaces.
Well,
No, I prefer to think they just flew here from space.
Really? I prefer the space between spaces.
No, because I want to go to space one day.
Oh, okay. And you want to find aliens there.
So if the aliens are coming here, that tells me that it's possible, right?
Right.
And I would like to think that one day we are going to explore the stars.
But if they're coming from the space between spaces, that means there's space between spaces that you could also explore.
Yeah, I know, but I want to explore space.
Okay. not the space between
I want to
spaces.
explore that too, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm more into the space.
Do you want a Stargate? Is that how to do it? Would you rather go travel through space or have a Stargate?
I think I'd rather go for a spaceship, but Stargates are cool too.
Yeah.
The whack thing though is, if it was spaceship style, you got to take that interstellar time shit into account, right?
Right.
I would never, if I left on a spaceship to go explore like the stars, I'm never seeing anyone on Earth ever again.
Right.
Because best case scenario, I come back to be like 100 years.
If it's quantum based, the space between space, we can go to Denham and come back in 5 minutes. We
Exactly,
do it
yeah,
right
maybe.
now and still finish this podcast.
Exactly, yeah. Maybe the Stargate system would let us do it that way, right? But, yeah.
We used to do remote viewing. See, okay, obviously there's the whole Men in Black thing that, you know, not the movie, but the idea, right?
I was going to move into that in a bit, but
No, I know, but I mean, I was prefacing that with, you know, there's so many things this film could have also considered with, you know, remote viewing or things like that. They stick to 50s, 60s sci-fi tropes, which is an aesthetic in school. Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Of course, in the third one, they do the time travel, all that, but whatever.
Yeah. See, I'm intrigued and a little spooked out by all the alien stuff. In the cold light of day, I don't know if I believe it, but to quote the X-Files, I want to believe.
At this point, I think it's relatively safe to assume, unless you're like, there is no space, man, that there would be alien life somewhere. It's, at this point, you'd
be a freak for saying that you don't believe there is any other life in the universe.
The
right?
question now is, can you traverse long distances?
Yeah,
you know?
right.
So, where this movie does it mechanically. So I am wondering if mechanically is the way to go about it. You know, we referenced Contact, where she was sent off to the other side of the galaxy. Well, maybe she wasn't. You know,
right?
I mean, that could have all been like astral realms that she was seeing and things like that. I go with the idea. Same summer, by the way, that Men in Black came out, that she really didn't go anywhere, as they said.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I prefer the Star Trek idea of we get in the spaceship and fly around, right?
Oh, yeah. We
fun.
obviously both of us would like to be peeling potatoes on the lower decks of the Enterprise, but
I want to be on command, man.
you didn't go to Starfleet Academy. You got to peel potatoes.
I go to Starfleet Academy now.
Yeah, but you want to go to space now. Will you peel potatoes?
Starfleet Academy in space.
We're going to Mars. You're going to be the.
I would go to Mars even if it was a potato peeling duty,
as the official potato peeler.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty terrible at peeling potatoes. I take off huge fucking chunks.
We'd have a long time to perfect this. So
Yep.
actually, in The Martian, that he is growing potatoes in that, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
In his own shit.
Right. Poopy potatoes.
But yeah, so the Men in Black are the shady guys who would show up around people who'd had sightings and encounters and stuff.
And they're not charming.
No, they're very creepy, unsettling. Some versions, it's like they're probably some sort of government agency. Other, like, when you read experiences, it's like, oh, I don't think these guys were human.
Yeah, this movie holds the name Men in Black, but I feel like the pop culture version that was so much better would be Fringe.
Maybe, yeah.
Did you
or
see that
just
show?
the X-Files, right?
Yeah, I've seen all of Fringe. I haven't seen all the X-Files. So
I haven't seen any of Fringe. And very little of the
they
X-Files.
start having these weird guys that seem kind of unstuck from time or something that are around there. They're very Men in Blackish. So
Well, no, the pop culture, man, it's the agents from The Matrix.
but see, they lack a certain. They aren't cold enough.
Okay.
Because they have that weird, like, I'm AI stuck in a simulation piss-offedness, you know,
Right.
especially Hugo Weaving as that's the
okay.
main pusher, whereas the Fringe ones are very dispassionate, right? Just, like, cold and, you know. So, although I did just kind of slip into an Agent Smith voice doing it, so point taken. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's not, you know, the Men in Black phenomenon is not fun at all. You don't want to encounter these guys where if, you know, Tommy and Will show up your door as they do with the redneck lady.
Yeah.
You know, that seems okay, but the actual Men in Black show.
Well, I get the impression that Zed wants them all to be like that. It's just K and J who are fucking going around being charming mavericks.
Yeah, but part of the other thing with the phenomenon is that they aren't quite human, right?
Yeah.
Their skin tone or whatever doesn't seem quite right. They seem rubbery, things like that. You know, they don't respond to normal emotional cues, which I can't imagine the other agents are doing.
But I mean, even so, if you are, we're talking about the Men in Black, assuming that some version of them did exist.
Or do exist.
Yeah. So even if they are human, they're humans who are clearly involved in some very weird shit. Whether that is covering up aliens, whether it's just covering up military experiments, whether it's just trying to stop people talking about this stuff because it's not good for, you know, whatever the government wanted you to be thinking at that point in time.
Yeah, because in the past 2 years, I mean, now that everyone's pretty much occupied with other stuff, there have been, like, you know, U.S. Navy, Air Force, Army announcements. Yep, these things are in the sky. Don't know what they are.
Yeah.
But nobody cares anymore because they're too otherwise occupied.
Well, I think it's also just, like, nobody ever cares about what they're allowed to know.
Yeah.
It was interesting because we thought they were covering it up.
Well, it's like you're telling us what we already sort of kind of knew, like
Yeah.
Not,
well, look at
more.
like the other big conspiracy things with all the secret pedophile rings, right? No one cares about the ones that we can just fucking see. They've got to make up fake ones. 'Cause that's
Oh, I
more
just got a bug.
interesting.
I didn't kill him. He's
Whoa.
fine. So I
You had a big lad in your hair.
I won't piss off that our Vincent bugs. He didn't actually have a name, did he?
They call him Bug all the way through it. I think the guy at the start had a name, but I can't remember what it was.
Well, okay.
The guy whose skin he's wearing.
That doesn't matter. Oh, Edgar.
Edgar, yeah.
It's an Edgar suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see. Yeah. But yeah, they just call it the Bug.
Yeah, okay. So if I call him Vincent, it's fine.
Basically, no one in this film has a real name. There's just a letter or an adjective.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the prince, the alien, the Bug.
Yeah.
AJZ.
Is that cool?
It's kind of easier to remember.
Yeah, I feel like I'm forgetting something, that's all.
I think, Will Smith did have a name at the start. He was James something. That gets deleted and he becomes Jay.
Yeah, they did show that on screen, but we all forgot it as we're supposed to.
But yeah, people make fun of a lot of modern sci-fi, especially video games. It feels like the script was waiting for one more edit and it never got it. So everything just has these real placeholder sounding names. It's always like, oh, we've got to stop the coalition activating the device and shit like that. Whereas, yeah, maybe this is where that started. But this somehow got away with it.
was going to be like, oh yeah, no question. Of course, this film holds up today, and it does. But the franchise didn't hold up particularly well, I guess.
Right, it's not like I look back on 2 and 3 as absolute shiters.
Again, I told you
They're
I like
just like
3.
I remember 2 as being like, oh, it's kind of just 1 again.
Yeah.
Which I think is everyone's take, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 3. I think we talked about this before we were recording. I did like 3, but of course by that point it wasn't Tommy Lee Jones for most of the film.
Right.
And Josh Brolin's
Like
great, but that Will Smith Tommy Lee Jones double act is Men in Black.
Yes.
It's like how I have not much interest in watching the Independence Day sequel because it doesn't have Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum hanging out, and that was the main appeal of Independence Day to
Also
me.
because it's terrible.
People say that about the first one, I still love it, so...
I love the first one. The second one's terrible.
Okay. I will eventually end up watching it,
You
I'm
have
sure.
to eventually, but you won't like it, I think. But yeah, because you and I just mentioned the most recent one's Men in Black International, which, 1, I kind of forgot existed.
Yep.
And 2, I literally don't think I know anyone that's seen it.
Yeah, the critics seem to pan it, but I actually don't know anything about it or why it is supposedly not good, so I kind of feel like I should give it a watch.
Yeah.
But also I resent it for the film we didn't get, because we were meant to get that 21 Jump Street Men in Black crossover.
That would have been him.
That would have been so good. There's the comedy film that I genuinely think is really funny, is the 2 Jump Street films.
The one that'll make you shit yourself.
Yeah.
Oh,
You should definitely watch the Jump Streets. They're really
I've
funny.
seen the first one.
Okay.
So.
Second one's even better.
Okay. I'm sitting here thinking I've seen the second one. I don't remember, but I've definitely seen the first one.
The second one ends with such a ridiculous ending that they couldn't have done a sequel without doing something like that. Because it just ends with trailers for like the next 30 films in the series.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. I have not seen that. I'll put that on my to-do list.
Yeah, you will love that.
No, just that there. I'm like, yes. One of my most watched DVDs, it's a Something Weird DVD, which was real cheap because it's just trailers for like 60s caught films. 60s caught films, something like that. And price them from the 70s. But yeah.
My parents got me for one birthday, 20 years ago, a big box set of DVD of just old sci-fi films.
Oh yeah, I know those things.
And we're
they all
talking
look shit, but you still
there was
watch
some
them.
great- Santa Claus versus the Martians was in there.
We
There's
almost
some
did that for
Gammas
Christmas
in
last
there.
year.
Yeah, there was all kinds of dumb shit. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was my Christmas suggestion, but I was convinced into jingling it all the way.
Yeah,
So,
probably this year then.
Yeah. So which one is more iconic now? Is it Independence Day or Men in Black? It's not Wild Wild West. I do like that one more than a lot of people do, but it's definitely not that one. It's Independence Day or this one. One of those is iconically pretty much the ultimate 90s film.
Right.
Is it this or that?
Well, I think it's this because this has the Will Smith theme tune.
Okay. That helps.
Independence Day has kind of a timelessness about it. It doesn't feel as 90s as this does.
I guess
It's a 90s
not.
fashion,
Yeah.
but it's very practical effects.
Yeah.
And it's very big, end of the world, America stuff.
Mm.
Whereas this is everyone in it is just like a scientist or an army guy or the president. Whereas here, Will Smith is like a New York cop from the 90s streets.
Yeah.
Who's like, look at these stuffy white men. Whereas Independence Day doesn't have any of that attitude to it.
I guess I'm going Cecil B. DeMille here and thinking it's Independence Day just because of the epic scale.
Right.
Where, like we said, this one.
No, but that's why it doesn't feel like it's a 90s thing.
Ah.
It's just a tentpole film.
I did just cite you a much older director to make my point. So.
But yeah, you were saying what's the quintessential 90s film,
Mm.
whereas this film is dripping with 90s.
So.
Although maybe I would actually say it's the Power Rangers movie.
So I haven't seen that one actually, but I was thinking then, Independence Day had a weird kind of psychic predilection for the whole 9/11 vibe, right?
No.
What about this one?
It was just War of the Worlds, so it was like, look, America, you're not invincible.
True.
Like, if you're going to say that Independence Day predicted 9/11, then also War of the Worlds predicted the World Wars, which they kind
Maybe
of
it
did. But it's not like some amazing psychic prediction. It is just, it's inevitable that if you go on like this, you're going to get retaliation.
Anyway, the main thing I was going to get at is, does this film have any of that juice for you?
I mean, it is weird watching a film which feels very recent and has the Twin Towers in it.
There are very long shots of the Twin Towers, which is pretty weird. Like,
Because I feel like this film is more recent than it is.
Yeah.
And they're just there. And then it's got like spaceships crashing into shit and stuff. So
Right.
the second one has the Statue of Liberty is a big neuralizer.
Yeah, I really don't. I guess it worked.
Her thing is a big,
I guess it worked because I don't remember. No,
that's even more.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the two UFO towers?
I have not. I've been very close to them. It was when I was working at that summer camp in Pennsylvania. I had to go in Queens and pick up a bunch of kids, and we went right past it. But I had a mission to do, and I couldn't really hang out.
That is.
Yeah. So I drove past it, but did not do it. And Queens has some interesting restaurants, by the way.
But yeah, because this was not only the big film, the big Will Smith event, the song, then it had an animated series, and that kept going, and there was cartoons and figures and toys and everything, and then we got the big sequel. So this felt more like an event for a longer time than Independence Day did.
See, okay, that's a big difference, because in my world, it was just a jump from Men in Black 1 to Men in Black 2.
Right. Yeah, because you weren't 8.
Yeah, no, that's my point. But for me,
so
it's
like those couple of years felt so long to me.
Yeah. Whereas, they're doing a Men in Black film. Okay, that's cool. So, I've never seen an episode of the animated series. I didn't have any of the toys. I did buy a Bob and Doug McKenzie around that time. Strange Brew.
Okay.
Came with all their beer bottles and their table and everything. It was great. I think I technically still own it. It's in my parents' house, but unless they threw it out.
But yeah, because like Independence Day, big film of '96. Men in Black, big film of '97. Wild Wild West was meant to be the big film of '98.
What is the big film of '98?
Godzilla.
That was it?
It was the one that was everywhere. The toys were everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it did okay. And I can't think what else it was.
I don't hate
was it
that
Batman
movie.
And Robin?
I mean, the worst thing about that movie is it's not a
Godzilla.
Japanese movie. Yeah. It's Zilla, right? Yeah.
But if you just accept it as like, oh, this is a different monster in that universe.
I just don't remember it being that successful.
I remember. I was 8.
Yeah.
But I remember like the shelves were full of Godzilla toys. All the buses had Godzilla adverts. Every bus station had a Godzilla poster. They were definitely pushing it as the big film. I don't know how well it then did. Are you going to look highest grossing films of '98?
I am, because now I'm...
Wait, shit,
curious.
when was Phantom Menace?
99.
Because if that was '98, then there's your answer.
Yeah. So let's find this one out. 1998 box office. We get... Titanic.
Oh, sorry.
Except I think it
highest
came out...
grossing film of all time.
I think
that
it
might have been '97.
I think it came out. Yeah, I was about to say. I think it came out late '97, but still managed to make.
But different kind of blockbuster there.
Very different, although much of an effects caper.
Yeah, technically true. Yeah.
I've noticed. I don't know.
Still at the end.
It seems like there's a big Japanese we're showing you a movie of the week thing now.
There always has been.
Okay.
Oh, what do you mean on TV?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Friday night movie. That's always been a thing.
Okay, just a few weeks ago it was Titanic, and this past weekend was Stand By Me, and in the past I didn't remember hearing so much about that.
Stand By Me is weirdly popular in Japan.
What's that?
I don't know, but it's referenced in the first Pokemon games. One of our managers did a speech about reading that book when she was a kid.
So Titanic came out in late '97.
Okay.
And
Titanic is an exception, so what else is there?
Armageddon.
Armageddon
is the '98 movie. That's where Will got bumped that year.
Yeah.
So it was definitely Armageddon.
Yeah.
Which and then was it The Fifth Element the next year? I guess Bruce took the Will torch.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a couple of years at least.
Because I thought The Fifth Element was earlier.
It might have been the same year as this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember which order. I just remember. I just remember coming out of the one movie and seeing the giant cardboard cutout for Armageddon and for Fifth Element.
The difference is Armageddon and stuff like that was the big film, but there was no marketing towards kids. So at the time, Men in Black and Godzilla definitely felt bigger to me.
I remember Armageddon had these chocolate balls you get. It was like you were eating the
meteor.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and
but that was definitely.
Yes. It was a chocolate Armageddon meteor ball, and inside were nerds.
Nice.
That was awesome.
But that was definitely aimed at teens and young adults.
Okay,
whereas the Will Smith movies were a little more family.
Come on, an 8-year-old wants a chocolate ball filled with nerds.
Oh yeah. But I didn't care much about watching Armageddon.
Right. Really?
Not at the time.
Okay. I cared about watching Armageddon at the time, but I was...
Because it's just a big rock. What's a rock going to do? Boring.
It's going to fucking destroy the Earth. That's what it's going to do.
Yeah, you can't, like, fight it. Or they're going to drill it. Oh.
You can nuke it.
It's not a dinosaur, though, is it?
No. Oh, yeah, that was the one thing we just did Europa report, right? The one thing I forgot to mention, those astronauts drilled well. They were good drillers. So the Armageddon...
Apparently you can just teach astronauts to drill. You don't have to take fucking...
I mean, we already knew Armageddon was full of shit anyway, but now it's...
But we mentioned the space craziness of Armageddon being absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. So it's their drilling conceit, I guess.
We haven't done Armageddon yet, have we?
Oh,
we probably should at some point. Well, we need to do Armageddon and Deep Impact as a double bill.
Yeah, because they came out at the same time.
I know.
I saw Deep Impact at the drive-in, and I saw Armageddon at the multiplex. But the drive-in was raised and is now a multiplex, so I don't know how I should feel about that.
Is it haunted by the ghost of the drive-in?
Yes.
Cool.
I hope.
Just ghost Cadillacs driving through the audience.
I hope it is. I hope, because that was a cool drive-in. I guess drive-ins are coming back now that people don't want to be close to each other. So
yeah,
I know in America they've had a bunch of like pop-up drive-ins. Like you throw a big screen in a parking lot, new drive-in. That's kind of cool.
Yep. Probably have to tune to an app instead of like just tuning your radio.
That's not unuseful.
I know.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that with such disdain. That's fine.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I don't want to hear the speaker outside the car, but... Well,
no, because it used to be you tune your radio.
No,
right?
before that, it
was just a big-ass speaker?
Yeah, outside the car, you'd have to listen. That sucked it. And then, yes, it was very cool to use your car, and hell, some digital sound. You know, although the radio is like right there, so the sound quality was fine. You know, and you don't really...
Yeah, but if they could do it so you could have whatever language you want if it was on an app.
Well, in Japan it matters.
I would dig that.
America's
got like a lot of Spanish speakers.
Yeah.
You racist asshole.
You get subtitles. Could you get an app that puts like subtitles on your driver's?
You just use Google Translate and it would just do it as you go. I'm sure they'd be perfectly accurate.
Be better. Back to those transliterated Chinese.
Yeah, I love
titles.
that shit.
Devil, King of Children will always be the best. Armageddon has a good one too, but I can't remember what it was.
Rock.
No, that's a different movie.
Yeah, I know.
That one. Oh,
same director.
Tell me who's in that movie.
Sean Connery.
Yeah, because you were
talking.
You were just talking to yourself as Sean Connery for like 5 minutes down the hill today.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. You know that you're a close friend of mine when I forget to not be weird around you. Like the stuff I do when I'm alone, I have to remind myself not to do around people, and I guess I've stopped doing that when I'm around you.
Yeah, because you weren't talking to me, so I was, I was doing Sean Connery.
Felt like doing it.
Okay, yeah, I was like, that's cool. I can dig that. So, yeah, the Men in Black. If we missed something here, I guess we got Men in Black 2, 3, and maybe International. But,
yep. But, I feel like 2 is definitely worth a revisit.
I should revisit because it's literally been 20 years. So, you said I was going to say in the podcast. I guess I'll go ahead and say your prediction that the one claim for me is I watched it in a movie theater just off Times Square, and in the movie they flew past the movie theater, and that was a magical movie. That if you want movie magic, there it is. They just flew past the theater you're watching the film in. That's cool, especially for a big budget movie. You know, if you're watching like a museum film and it shows a museum, you're like, who the fuck cares?
I mean, I guess I kind of had that when I watched Hot Fuzz. Except I didn't, because I didn't watch Hot Fuzz in my hometown when it was filmed.
Ah, okay.
I watched it when I was visiting my grandma, so I was closer to London.
Well, that's my Black Panther experience, right?
Yeah, and then I definitely watched...
museum.
I watched Doctor Who, an episode of Doctor Who in a hotel, and they ran past my hotel.
Okay, that works.
That's pretty good.
Okay, that's the same thing then, okay.
Yeah.
Tell them where we at.
You can find us on Twitter at MLSFSPod. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If it's somewhere where podcasts can be found, you can find us by searching Mountain League Sci-Fi Sanctuary. We make other podcasts. If you want to find links to them and also consider maybe throwing us $1 a month and listening to episodes early, you can go to patreon.com/podcastio-podcastius.
You even got it right. I still get that one confused sometimes because I'm an idiot.
I came up with it, so I ought to.
Well, I know you thought that I was training you to be a new partner, man.
Am I your replacement? Is it going to be Luke and Luke's Sci-Fi Sanctuary next week?
Yeah, you're going to talk to yourself, but one voice will be in a Sean Connery voice.
I'm Luke, and I'm Luke, and welcome to the Sci-Fi Sanctuary.
Coming soon, Quatermass and the Pit, Muppets from Space, Fermat's Room, Kong vs. Godzilla, 1962.